Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing how to kind of alter a die cut to add extra dimension. And I'm featuring the brand new Floral Tale stencils and coordinating die set from Pinkfresh Studio. It's part of their new Artful Foundations release from January 2026. And I absolutely love this book with its little floral and greenery details. I'm going to start by doing the stenciling, and I'm using my Misty stamping tool today to help me line up my stencils with this hammer mill cardstock. And I'm doing just a little bit of stenciling around the edge of these book pages for stencil number 1 using some Misty Coast ink and a 1/2-inch blending brush. I don't want a lot of color on this, and in the end, it's not going to be a big deal because we're going to kind of cover that area up. Now for stencil number 2, I am going to use some bay leaf ink, and I'm going to blend the centers of the florals at the bottom of this stencil. And I'm also making sure I fill in all of those triangles that are on the stencil. Now, if you're not using a Misty stamping tool to line up the various stencils, you're going to want to make sure you fill in those triangles on stencil number 1, which I did not do. But since I am positioning all of these stencils into the lower right-hand corner of my Misty stamping tool, these are all going to automatically line up. Those triangles are important because they're going to help you line up stencil to stencil, and they're also going to help you line up the die cut in the end, or the die in the end for the die cutting. So you're going to want to make sure you do that. Now for the kind of cover of the book, I'm starting out with some Eucalyptus ink and blending over the entire area, and then I'm coming in with some Lush Forest to add some shading and shadows and kind of deepen up this color. As I mentioned in a previous video, I'm finding that adding kind of a base layer of color with a lighter color is keeping me from getting areas too dark and kind of intensifying the amount of shadow that I get, but still leaving me with that darker color that I want. Now for stencil number 3, I'm using Misty Coast again along the edges of the book. And the cool thing about the coordinating die for this set is that it's going to add some kind of impressions along those pages to make them look a little more dimensional. Now for the florals along the bottom, I'm starting with a layer of Ballet slipper ink, and I'm using a 1-inch blending brush just to get a softer blend and kind of allow me to build the color more gradually. And then I'm going to add a little bit of shading with Coral Reef towards the edges or the centers of these florals. I'm not taking a lot of time to determine where any light source is coming from. I just want some lighter and darker areas. Now the next stencil includes the bookmark, and you could do this in a variety of colors. I just decided to do this in Coral Reef, and I'm using a 1/2-inch blending brush to do the blending for this. And for this layer of florals that you'll see along the bottom of the stencil, I'm going to switch over to a large 1-inch blending brush and use Coral Reef ink over those entire floral areas there. I wanted to keep the blending kind of simple, but of course you could always go in with various colors of ink for your florals. Now for the final stencil in the floral kind of pattern, I'm using Coral Reef ink again, but this time I'm going in with a little heavier hand, again just limiting the number of inks that I'm using. The final stencil includes the greenery, and for this I'm going to use the same colors that I used on the edge of the book. So I'm using Eucalyptus over all of the greenery, and then I'm coming in with some Lush Forest ink and a 1/2-inch blending brush and kind of building up color in particular areas of the greenery to really make this nice and dark. Now, true story, I actually didn't end up using the greenery from this particular stencil and die set, but once I die cut this, I have it and I can keep it in my stash. I didn't actually end up using all of the floral elements from this as well, so I will have some leftovers that I can use on another card. Now to line up the die, I want to make sure that I'm lining up the triangle openings of the die with the triangles that we created with the stenciling. That's going to make sure that I have perfect die cutting every time. You can see there is a little bit of bleed designed into the stencils so that if your die is off just slightly, you'll still have edge to edge color on all of your die cuts, which I love this about the Pinkfresh Studio stencils with their coordinating dies. The key is to make sure that those triangle openings on the dies are completely filled with color on your background before you die cut. Now, I want to add an additional layer to the pages of this book. So I am going to rotate my paper around and die cut the book again. You can see it adds some slits and some details with that die cut. And I want just the pages of this. So I am taking my scissors and I'm just cutting along some of those impressions that are made by the die along with the slits that are along the edge of the sides of the book to create an additional layer of pages to add on to that base layer that I created with the stenciling. This is really easy to do. It doesn't take much time, and you can add a really realistic effect to this die cut by just adding this additional layer. So you can see once I have it die cut, then I can kind of attach it onto the stenciled piece and add a little bit of dimension. Now to add some shading to the edge of this, I'm going to use my brush here that has that Misty Coast ink on it, and I'm just going around the edge lightly. It really doesn't have a whole lot of color left on it, but in my mind, it made it better. Now, I grabbed the Fresh Florals die set, which you've seen me use recently in a video, and I die cut these elements from white cardstock. I'm just grabbing a few of the greenery pieces. You can see they're on the delicate side, so I'm being careful as I remove them. And I'm going to add some color to them using some Eucalyptus and Lush Forest ink for these larger greenery pieces. They're going to look familiar if you've been hanging around here for a little bit. I'm going to add that shading with the Lush Forest, and I am using a large 1-inch blending brush for my blending on these elements. Now I'm going to take this more, I don't know, twiggy or berry looking branch and blend it with some warm buff ink. Then I'm going to kind of figure out the arrangement that I want. And I want to point something out to you here. This looks beautiful with just the greenery. So even if you just use greenery on this book, I think it looks absolutely stunning. But you can let me know in the comments below, do you like the finished project where there's some florals added, or do you prefer it with just the greenery? Because I'm kind of torn. Now I'm taking that additional layer that I created for the inside of the book, and I'm going to add a sentiment with some gold embossing. So I'm placing this in my Misty stamping tool, and I have a sentiment from the Heartfelt Chapters stamp set. I'm stamping that using some Versamark ink onto the right page of this book that I have here, or the partial book. I prepped the surface of my cardstock using a powder tool before stamping, and then I inked up my stamp with some Versamark ink. Once I've stamped that, I'm going to add some gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. This is their gold embossing powder. I'm going to flick off the excess and then heat set that. And I am finding recently that I'm just getting better results with my embossing by heating from the back. I can tell quicker when it's all melted, and I don't tend to overheat it as much. So if you have trouble with your embossing, try heating from the back only and see if you get better results. Let me know also. Now to attach this additional layer of pages into my stenciled book, I'm going to add just a small strip of foam adhesive in the center binding of where these pages will meet that stenciled area. And before I lay this down, I'm going to use a bone folder and kind of fold and curl some of these pages, or this page, I guess I would say, to kind of give it a little bit of shape and movement. Now, on the side where there's some heat embossing, you're going to want to be careful. You don't want to crack your embossing. So be gentle on that side, but you can kind of roll the pages just a little bit to add more dimension. Once I attached that to the stenciled layer, I'm going to start adding my elements, starting with the bookmark and then some of the greenery. Now, as I started attaching these, I discovered that the pages were kind of sagging underneath the weight of the die cuts that I was putting on top. And I really wanted them to kind of stay dimensional and popped up. I know this makes it kind of impractical for mailing, so if you want to mail this card, you can skip this portion. But I'm going to fold these pages back, and I'm going to add 2 small strips of foam adhesive on top of each other. So this has an additional layer from how it was adhered to the base of the book in the first place. This is going to allow it to kind of stay lifted off the base of the book and keep that dimension even with the weight of the die cuts along the edge. I'm going to repeat that process on the right side as well, and you're going to see that in the finished book, you're going to have a lot of dimension in these pages, and I think it's just a fun little addition and a great way to use this floral tale set. I added some of the florals that I stenciled and die cut with the Floral Tale Stencil and Die, and I'm popping this one kind of in between the layer of pages just for some added dimension and fun. And then I'm going to create a background for this. I'm using the Petal Mosaic Coverplate die. This has a coordinating stencil set that you can use to create a beautiful pattern, but it's really beautiful on its own as well. I'll also die cut that from some Pebble cardstock, and you can see I'm using my dual tip embellishment tool to poke out all of the extra pieces that didn't fall out of the die cut automatically. I put this in my trimmer and I trimmed off an edge from the right hand side, and then I moved it over about 3/4 of an inch and trimmed a strip. This is going to allow the pattern to line up on my card front, and I'll have this 3/4 inch strip of Pebble cardstock, but the Petal Mosaic pattern will remain continuous across the entire card front. I attached my beautiful book to my card front using some foam adhesive. You could definitely skip the foam adhesive here if you want something a little less dimensional. And then I placed this entire card front onto an A2 size horizontal card base. So this is cut to 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4.25 inches. Now, once I had that in place, I decided I wanted the edges of these pages to curl just a little more. So you can see I have the barrel of my dual tip embellishment tool, and I'm just kind of rolling the edges of those pages around that barrel to give them a little more curl and shape. I'm going to finish off this card project by adding some matte gold pearls from Pinkfresh Studio. I'm using some liquid glue and my dual tip embellishment tool to add those onto my card front, and that completes this beautiful card for today. Isn't this so much fun with that additional layer of pages on top? It didn't take much extra effort to die cut that additional layer and kind of add it onto the stenciled book, and I love the way that this card turned out. As always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube, so if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Or you can head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com, and I'll have that linked below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. As always, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials, as well as my Carissa Crafts live streams. Thanks again for watching. I hope you found a little joy, a little bit of light, and a little bit of inspiration here. I am so glad you're here, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.